Hey, good morning.
Hi, I like that.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
How's everybody? Good morning.
Well, that works.
You guys there?
How are you? I'm fine. How are you?
Hello. There's a little delay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good morning. I'm here.
David, how are you?
It's a good day.
I'm sorry, you said something?
That's okay. There's a little
I guess I
delay, but
should I
we'll get
raise
there.
these two?
Yes, please.
I thought my mom was. I have such a good time. It was such a Well, I saw Taylor, my son, and he's 5 for the first time in 2 years. Oh, it's just, oh my God.
Well,
That's like, it's right, in this brain, sitting in the college brain. I'm hoping the door will, college. And then you get off there. She just, of course, she jumped in my arms, that is knocking over.
Oh, how wonderful.
And I mean, it just was absolutely.
That's okay. No, she jumped in my arms. Well, that one in a minute?
Oh, yeah, that one's there.
You don't need these on?
Oh, yeah, you can turn those on. Yeah, I did not do anything. The only thing I did was light the candle and uncover the piano.
Okay.
I tried to sit on my hands.
Well, that's okay. Gracias. Did Marilyn ever get a new recording thing?
Yeah, I think they're setting it up. It came around Christmas. We're on the internet. We're on the.
how was that?
Oh, wow.
How are you?
Thank you for stepping in.
Oh, that's okay. I'm,
Very last minute.
it's my second pinch hit of the year.
Just gotta take my mask off for a second. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Door County.
You're fine. Now,
Hello.
were you letting the mics off, or were you were speaking louder than you might normally speak?
That's true. Maybe I should.
No?
Welcome to this morning,
Okay,
to this
fine.
day.
I don't know if we want to set to 73, that's pretty warm.
It's pretty warm.
I can-
70?
It's 67 in here now.
Yeah. I think that sounded good, sir. Dave, what do you think?
I'm gonna knock it down to 7.
No, I'm talking about Sarah. Can you
Oh,
hear her?
Sarah.
Welcome to this
No,
morning.
can you hear her?
You
okay?
want
To
to leave
this
it at
day.
73?
No, just-
I think you can leave it at 73. It's a cold
Okay,
day.
that's
We'll be
good.
okay.
Good
I think
call.
I think it'll be kind of an empty
that
building
sounds
too.
good. That sounds
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. How are you? It is a great day though. Okay.
It's so clean outside, it's just all that fresh
I'm gonna
stuff.
go to the-
Hello, fire dear. How are you doing?
Doing just fine. My glasses are fogging, I really bad. Getting a little tired of this mask wearing.
I know, I tried, because I want to wear my glasses when I'm up there. So I tried wearing them at the same time, because I only really need to see them really distance. And I figured it might help. Because I have to like, put it down on my sheet of paper. I'm like, I can wear them.
Yep, mine are kind of fogging up, and then I go like this, you know, to see people. Gee, it's just, hopefully, I'm really interested and anxious and delighted. This is really special. Really.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, yeah, I'm not quite sure. We'll see if, with like possible. If that's the case, we'll have a big grand finale into the movie.
Yes.
With the flowers and the crafts, we'll have something to keep us going.
I'm checking oil in the channels. The oil is here, I think.
So we're gonna find out about the Christmas event.
Yes, the rosary. This was so fun. These are in our craft room, our kids' craft room.
Yeah.
So many goodies. These ginormous buttons.
And who likes the craft room the best?
Yeah. Oh, it's like buttons.
Yeah. You could get Velcro to put around there, or zippers or anything. Hey, what buttons for it?
I love buttons. And you're on it.
There we go.
And I had one left and it was the green one. And I'm like, oh, well.
I like it. See, now where is when Hank found out he was seriously, but oh yeah.
Get to hold the microphone. Let's see.
Oh, we got 10 more minutes. Ooh, a Christmas advent. Sarah, it's a book, it's not a frame. It's an actual book. I won't touch it, but I'm tempted.
The story will.
Well, unfold.
The story will unfold.
Good morning, good morning to you.
Morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
It's gonna be a lovely morning.
Hi, Cindy.
I found it. I found it.
You found it? Oh, it must have rolled all the way
How are you,
down.
Cindy?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
To see you. Beth is playing? Okay, I'll open the piano. Yes, of course. Afterwards. Yeah, I don't want to wreck your karma. Can't wait to hear you sing. I'm not singing. You're not singing? No. I just assumed you'd be singing. Not today. It's not in there, is it? No. Oh, thank God. Okay. Oh, well, I'm disappointed. Oh, well, thank you. Well, I mean, that's very sweet. I shall sing again. I hope so. Okay, so we're supposed to take a carnation. Okay, where are you sitting?
Right here.
So, I'm gonna sit behind you.
Okay.
There's no reflection on you. It's just so that I can get out. Well,
Hi,
you
Dick.
could move these.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
holding up under the awesome burdens of this office?
We are trying.
You try.
We are trying.
You try.
And it appears we are trying to some people.
Now that's a hoot. Right, just to some people. Okay. Oh, good. You're coming off my So you're holding up well?
Well, the last time I checked,
Okay.
I'm vertical and more or less functional.
Vertical and more or less functional. Oh, geez, love that. It's gonna be cold tomorrow.
It is.
Indeed.
So I'm already trying, and we'll have to be outside for a while.
You do or do not?
We will have to be, right? Outside?
Oh, for the, we'll probably do it inside.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
probably do it inside.
Then I shan't worry, okay.
I would still dress warm, but I would think it makes more sense to do it inside.
Someone told me yesterday, and maybe you would know as a scientist, that the aerosols for this Omicron are small enough to be taken into a mask, through a mask.
I think what they discounted now, they suggested that the cloth masks are not the way to go anymore.
Right,
N95 is
That
the
would
now.
N95, okay, I have, well, I'm wearing two,
Yeah.
but one is a 3D mask,
Okay.
you know, that I like to sing in.
I can send you a link to where I got these.
I can get them at, I have
Well,
some.
be
at home.
careful because a lot of counterfeit ones out there.
Oh, there are,
Yeah.
okay,
And this was, Gwen sent me information.
okay,
And Gwen, you know how methodical she is.
Yeah.
Methodical she is.
okay,
And so, I got what Gwen got, and that's what I got. I use all the time.
N95.
I can't remember the name of it, I'll get it to you.
Thank you, I'd appreciate that, Lynn, I really would.
Bruce, Cindy, how are you?
Good morning. Filling in for Donna.
Yeah,
Even the frame on these windows is not cold.
not at all.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
No, not at all.
Isn't that lovely? That's
So
good.
it's
Because they added a lot of insulation like in here and there.
And, you would have, on a day like today, would you have felt cold or something?
Well, you can certainly feel it.
Yeah.
I went
Even
to
you put
pick
your
with
hand
an
in the
umbrella, I
window.
grabbed it
No,
down
it's
and
not.
changed it the other day.
And they look good. We looked at it a few years ago. You've been around.
I'm sorry, I'm
I mean, they were
thinking out loud. I don't think I'd be able to sing in an N95, because
And
even
I
with
discovered that.
Hank's respiration, you can see that it's sucked in. So if it's on my lips or in my mouth, I can't sing with it.
Because none of it-
I don't know, they're all part of the whole thing.
That's why I wear the
The scene-
Korean
We have a couple.
F94, because it's a 3D mask.
Well, you can do that.
And it doesn't hurt my lips.
Yeah.
It doesn't suck in. Anyway,
So that's the latest.
I wanted to speak up, I just want us to be well and healthy.
Yep.
And moving around. Not a surprise.
Okay, yeah, because you did a PET scan Friday.
So, once again, no worry, huh? Despite your best efforts.
Yeah. Probably wouldn't have had too good a turnout anyway, because it's gonna be cold tonight. too. Yeah. I don't want to. We did the right thing.
Yeah, no.
I pretty much pulled the executive committee, you know, the 5 or 6 of us. And Mark wanted to still do it, but he was the only one. Yeah. And I probably would have said yes. I really don't think so. We did the right thing.
I think so.
Oh, sure.
Even though it makes me sad.
I like your hat. Oh, thank you.
That's what she said.
Oh, it's time for the 5-minute warning.
I know, I love this. And they're gonna like it. Okay, it is required. Okay. Do you want to sit up here and one away from me or over?
Okay, 5 minutes. 5 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever it is. God, it's so sunny. I love it.
Oh, no. I'm gonna make myself home. Makes me a little nervous. Yeah, well, we're always ready for it. I don't care where it is.
You've got it, hear
Happy New Year.
No, I don't have a dog. You'll love it.
I like that.
Okay, now. Well, I'll move over here. Yeah.
Hello, welcome back.
No huge. Whatever you'd like.
Okay, I have power. I'm the winner. Yay.
What a nice way to start the service. Thank you, Beth. Thank you very much. Nice crowd. Larger than I think we've had for a while now. And where's Sarah? Sarah, I think it's star power. I do. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Door County. Welcome to this morning. Welcome to this day. Welcome to this opportunity to be together in community, which is a time of joy, a time of comfort, and sometimes challenges. This Unitarian Universalist congregation is a place where we come to learn more about being human. We're not here because we figured out life's questions and mysteries, or because we think we've got it right. We come here to learn more about being in a relationship together with each other, how to listen, how to forgive, how to be vulnerable, how to create trust and compassion in and for one another. Let us move into worship, willing to be authentic with each other, honest within ourselves, and opening to connection in all of its forms. My name is Donna Johnson. I'm your service leader this morning. I ask that you take a moment to silence any cell phones or other noise-generating stuff that you might have in honor of our time together. On behalf of this fellowship, I extend a special welcome to any visitors that we might have today. It's our custom that we ask you to stand, identify yourselves, buttons. My wife will bring a microphone to you. Our protocol is not to touch the mic. She'll hold it in front of you. And tell us who you are, where you're from, and maybe a word about what brought you here today. So do we have any visitors? Okay. Announcements are next in our order of service. At this time, any announcements that are relevant to the fellowship, we'd welcome them. And again, buttons will come to you with a microphone. Please identify yourself and please make an announcement. But before she does that, I do have an announcement. And that is that tomorrow at 1 o'clock, a small contingent of people from UUFDC will meet at the Boys and Girls Club of Door County with a small contingent of people at the Boys and Girls Club of Door County, where we will present a check for about $7,500. It might be $7,500 and change, but let's call it $7,500, which is this fellowship's first quarter gift to the Boys and Girls Club of Door County. The first quarter. So I think give yourselves a round of applause. I think that's pretty darn neat. I really do. Any other announcements? Buttons?
Hi, representing the anniversary committee, I want to add to the $7,500 that we contributed to the Boys and Girls Club, also a couple of barrels full of caps, hats, mittens, and scarves, and so on. I saw in today's Pulse Picks online that the 100+ women also gave money as well as hats and mittens to the Boys and Girls Club. So I'm hoping we get a little publicity for that also.
Thank you. Let me comment on that because we are going to be taking photographs and a press release has been prepared by Mary Ann Dowd and the Boys and Girls Club, as well as we will send that press release to the local print media and electronic media. And there's no doubt in my mind, but that will get some. Any other announcements? Beth?
Good morning. As always, it's great to be here in your midst and play music. As you noticed, it was not When You Wish Upon a Star. After choosing that, we decided we did not want to poke the mouse with copyright issues. So the music that we opened with this morning was called Forgotten Dreams by Leroy Anderson.
Thank you. And then buttons, Cynthia.
I'm sure that everybody was paying attention to the what was burning in different parts of the country. And our oldest child was within about a block of that, a mile. And to have something that is big enough that fire is going to be one of those things in the history books, 100 years from now. And to just think it was just regular people who just had to get out of there and then be very helpful to other people. And so it is, it just feels really weird to be living in this historical event. But I get some little pleasure of stepping back and then thinking, everybody in all times has had the same thing of if they got caught, they were dead. And if not, it was a major thing in their life that they escaped from that terrible thing. And so we're living in history.
I think it was George Santayana who said, "Those who forget history are condemned to repeat it." We repeat it quite often. Anyone else with an announcement? Okay. You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Maya Angelou. And as Elizabeth Gilbert would say, and did, it doesn't have to be amazing, it just has to be authentic. Light the chalice. With words from Melanie Davis. Under the right circumstances, playing with fire is a delight. Imagine gathering around a fire pit, for example, as the crackling flames invite us to sing or dance or roast a few marshmallows. Our chalice also invites us to play, although with ideas rather than with marshmallows. The flame encourages us to explore who we are, what we are, who our neighbors are, and where we are on our spiritual journeys. Today, we light this chalice in the spirit of play. Let us trust the light to guide us in this hour and in the days to come, finding joy along the way. Please stand in body or spirit and join us in the Unison Affirmation, followed by the humming with heart and gusto of the doxology. We gather together to seek knowledge and wisdom, to explore freely the vast reaches of mind and spirit, to celebrate within a caring community those truths, ancient and modern, which give meaning and direction to our lives. At this time, you are invited to share with us any joys and concerns that you might have that we may celebrate with you, or if you have concerns that burden you, feel free that we may offer solace and support. Please identify yourselves when you share your concern. Be mindful of the fact that this is going out on the World Wide Web, and so you might want to be sensitive to that in terms of what you share about people other than yourselves. Do we have any joys and concerns that people want to voice? Yes, Cindy.
Hi, I'm Cindy Steele, and usually every December I tell you about a week when I'm going to Orlando for the Great Big Giant Dog Show, and where I assist my sister-in-law in running in her dogs in dog agility. And we did that again in December, and it was so much fun, and everybody was wearing masks, and so it was as safe as it could possibly be in this giant convention center. The dog was run by a different person this year, not my sister-in-law, because she was recovering from 2 knee replacements, which she has done and is back running her dogs right now. But it was so funny to see every time the dog got on top of the A-frame, the dog stopped, and looked around for Patty, my sister-in-law. He looked around for his mom, and it was the sweetest thing. Anyway, thank you.
Lynn?
Lynn Louise, I would like you all to please keep in your thoughts my dear daughter-in-law, Erin O'Mara, who was just after Christmas diagnosed with breast cancer. So she's a stalwart researcher and networker, and she and my son John are seeking several opinions for therapy. Thank you.
Bob?
Well, I've got two things, actually. As a member of our anniversary committee, we are trying to have one of us each month say a little something about a UU principal, much as a service leader would do. And I wasn't planning on being here, so I'm just doing this on the fly right now. But at any rate, we wanted to relate our anniversary to the UU principals. And I think we have a good example this morning of the gift being given to the Boys and Girls Club, but also the plans for this next quarter of doing the same thing for the Food Bank Coalition of Door County. And so this will be the second of major areas out of 4 areas that will be done this coming year. So hopefully, and I look at through the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process to decide those 4 areas, but also looking at the worth and dignity of every person, that every person among us up here should have the right to eat. And we see the fact that almost a half of the students, even at Gibraltar, are coming from families that need food assistance, for at least from the form of student meals and so forth at lunch. But justice, equity, and compassion and human relations. So I think that this, I saw people nodding and their heads this morning and applauding the fact that we were able to generate the interest last quarter. And I think it's only it can be a wonderful time of us as a fellowship to be coming together in this time when normally we'd have probably 60 people here anyway on a Sunday morning, 70, 80 maybe. And but this is a wonderful attendance for us right now, and this gesture can help us maintain our enthusiasm in our community throughout this the coming time we have together. So that's my reflection on that. And then I haven't read a haiku, I would say, for 40 years, maybe, but at least out loud. And I won't pretend to do it as our beloved Jack Riddell did. But anyway, a haiku that Sarah gave me to read today was this: Serendipity. All vowels are taken. How comprehensive.
Thank you, Bob. Any other joys and concerns? And by the way, tagging on to Bob's point about food insecurity, and of course that is the focus of our second quarter with the Door County Food Pantry Coalition. But a reminder that in fact with the Boys and Girls Club of Door County, we're already participating in that concern about food insecurity, because I think they feed something like a couple of hundred kids every day. It's pretty significant. I didn't know that. That's one of the nice things I think about these quarterly initiatives. You get to learn more about the organizations we're supporting and to whom we're giving. And I learned a lot about the Boys and Girls Club of Door County that I didn't know before, that being one of them. Food for thought. One of the precautions we're taking during the pandemic is not to pass around an offering plate, but we do have, I believe, 3 of them out in the foyer. If you prefer, obviously we encourage you to use them, but if you prefer, we also encourage online donations. We have a mechanism by which you can do that online. We set that up about 1.5 years ago. I remind you that we have it. How do you get to it? Go to the UUFDC website. There's a tab on there for making online contributions, and it's quite simple. Let us now have a moment of quiet, please, when we can think about those things near and dear to us, and just basically contemplate. At this point, we're all invited to hum along with Let It Be a Dance. We have a reading. Certainly there is within each of us a self that is neither child nor a servant of the hours. It is a third self, occasional in some of us, a tyrant in others. This self is out of love with the ordinary. It is out of love with time. It has a hunger for eternity. The most regretful people on earth are those who felt the call to creative work, who felt their own creative power restive and uprising, and gave to it neither power nor time. You know, our speaker needs no introduction, but having said that, I'm going to do it anyway, because I've got some stuff here. And it's all positive, Sarah. It really is. But Sarah's been passionate about building communities since her high school days in Sheboygan. She was a student director of her high school's diversity team, DREAM, Diversity, Respect, Equality, Acceptance in Motion. While attending UW Milwaukee, she picked up a student job as a peer health advocate, focusing on sharing the campus's tobacco prevention and cessation and mental health resources. This job allowed her to gain insight on the technical processes that are needed to make advocacy possible, and processes of office management and grant writing as well. During her junior year in college, a song entitled Good Life played on the radio. She thought to herself, what a better place to create a good life than in Door County, Wisconsin, as many of us have. She decided to finish up her informational sciences degree remotely and set off for the big skies of the peninsula. Upon graduation, she started her career with the United Way of Door County as their fund development director. Embracing every day as a learning opportunity, she studied Door County's nonprofits, businesses, and diverse values. And she graduated as well from Leadership Door County. And we've been here, you've been here how many years now?
4.
4. She's been here 4 years and we're delighted to have her. In her free time, by the way, you will find her in an outfit covered with dog hair. You ready, Sarah?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Thank you, Hank.
Yeah.
Making good memories to hold on to accompany in times of joy and tears, seems to be a strong human instinct. I know it's an especially important priority of mine. And as I partake in conversations with others and browse social media platforms, it is clear that this memory making is a common driving priority of others too. Each of us strives to taste that sweet nectar of happiness, belonging, and exhilaration, all while knowing that nothing can last forever. We intendedly or unintentionally collect precious personal photographs, videos, diary entries, stash tender mementos in a box, or simply tuck the memory deep in our hearts. These sentimental treasures are often protected and safeguarded as tokens of a life well lived. Fern Cotton said, "It takes one thought, 1 second, 1 moment or positive memory to act as a catalyst for the light to gradually seep in again." I take this short moment to reflect on the meaning of the rosary. The rosary, a symbol of focus, guidance, goodness, and light. A tool used to focus your thoughts, to ground oneself, as we intentionally ignite the hope within us. Another holiday season has come and gone. The hustle and bustle of the year end stands as a testament of how much we just value memory making. As I waited in line for my booster vaccine, I overheard the pharmacy's team members discussing how they had so much to do to prepare for Christmas, but they only had 1 weekend to accomplish their memory making assignment. It was a familiar tale of modern holiday stress. You see, this memory-making holiday assignment can be very complicated and very convoluted. We are bombarded with all ways to spend our precious time, money, and energy. And these same notions, they will follow us around into the new year as birthdays and anniversaries and vacations roll around. Spending time, money, and energy to support and foster good memories for ourselves and our loved ones, it isn't wrong. Although we are manipulated by profit-seeking advertisements, there are material items and monetary spending that help us savor this life. For example, memories are made with that shake of a baby's rattle, that familiar, comforting company of a teddy bear, that whiff of perfume or cologne that was a signature scent of a loved one, your favorite article of clothing where its snars and snags all have a story to tell. Memories are made with that special car that has driven you to places, and perhaps you even have a pet name for it. Trips to Disneyland and amusement parks and county fairs. Memories are made with that exploration and discovery of faraway lands and cultures through international travel. Memories are also made by attempting to eat that 12-scoop ice cream sundae in a restaurant eating challenge. Spending time, money, and energy on items, services, and experiences is not wrong. However, the more we invest into something, often the higher our expectation is of that investment's result. And since memory making is already an emotionally complicated concept, our expectations can be easily unfulfilled. I'm sure we all had those awful vacation experiences or gave the gift that was a belly flop. To control our investment in memory making, I turn to the cupcake. When the frosting is piled too high on top of our cupcake, we get, can you guess? A tummy ache. And all we really long for is that airy, tender cake underneath it. The cake that feels like a pillow as we cradle it in our hands. A pillow. It's such a basic household item, but could you imagine your life without a pillow? Just as so, could you imagine your life without those good memories created over time? Memories that were both a blend of spontaneous and planned happenings. Perhaps we can hold these similes as a reminder that the fondest memories are catalysts of simple, light-handed, accessible actions. We don't need to overinvest. We don't need to overextend. And we don't need to overstress to cultivate good. It was a couple weeks before Christmas in 2017. My husband patiently waited in the car as I pushed an oversized and noisy shopping cart in a gigantic grocery store in which we had to clear an entire evening just to make the trip to. I remember filling our cart with a frenzy, gathering holiday, cupboard, and refrigerator furnishings. I recall placing the eggnog in my cart when a siren went off in my head, alarming me that I had completely skipped past the candy aisle on the other end of this very dynamic, busy, loud store. Oh, I thought to myself, how did I forget to secure those fruity jelly beans to unwrap on Christmas morning? Well, I certainly could have organized my shopping trip better by mapping out the store or even just by merely creating a shopping list. But I didn't. It was the holidays, I was busy, and I was super excited for the good memories of the season that's promised to us. My emotions were stirred with desire, longing, excitement, and a slurry of complicated emotional expectations. While I looked forward to this hunting and gathering for the holiday season, I was finally ready to admit the work of the season wasn't a perfectly joyful experience. Producing holiday magic can be an overwhelming and mystifying experience. My husband is a very patient man. However, I was a bit disgruntled when I got into the car, asking, what in the world took me so long? As fate would have it, we had a long car ride home ahead of us for me to illuminate the situation. I explained how everything I ran about to gather will create memories. Memories of taste, sight, smell, and sound. And when death does us part, the survived spouse will have these tactile memories to use as tools to help us cope with our parting and loss of one another. I asked, won't it be such a gift that when you're older and you see a cup of eggnog, that you were reminded of the thimble serving we gave our pup on Christmas Eve? This elaborate explanation settled his disconnect into supportive understanding. While this story came to be very, very useful in settling a potential argument, it held truth. And the experience inspired me to think deeper about our holiday activities. In 2018, we crafted a simple paper ornament for one another, featuring one word that described the other. In 2019, the idea was taken a step further with an Advent countdown. Each day, we were gifted with a word of affirmation from one another and a colorful bead. At the end of the season, we would have a pile of simple love notes strung in a string of brightly colored beads. Beads to physically embrace and twirl as we remember the light of our union. I imagine using these beads through the years, pulling them out in times of sorrow, joy, and gratitude. In December of 2021, I compiled our hearts in a scrapbook and strung the beads to adorn the cover. After the project was complete, I realized that my fiddling and focusing of the beads reminded me of the Rosary and the intentional meditation of devotion, grace, and glory. The incredible thing about being a UU is that I can call this creation a rosary, as it fosters my search for truth and meaning, and it encourages me to explore the vast reaches of mind and spirit. However, it's not just the UUs that allow me to call its creation a rosary, but the actual definition of a rosary does too. According to the Britannica Encyclopedia, the rosary, also called prayer beads, is a religious exercise in which prayers are recited and counted on a string of beads or knotted cord. By extension, the beads or cord may also be called a rosary. The practice is widespread, occurring in virtually every major religious tradition in the world: Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, and Islam. Hindus call their prayer beads japa mala. They are used to direct and count the reciting of mantras during meditation. It usually consists of 108 beads strung in a circle to represent the cyclical nature of life. Members of the Hare Krishna movement often use the beads in chanting the names of Krishna, and other Hindus use beads to recite the names of specific gods. Some Hindu faith communities believe that the beads are infused with different energies based on the mantras they have been used for, and thus they have different rosaries for different types of meditations. Buddhism is pretty similar. In Buddhism, prayer beads are also known as malas, and they are also made of 108 beads to represent humanity's mortal desires, and they often end in a tassel or an amulet. The beads are commonly used to track the reciting of mantras, but can also be used to direct meditative breathing or to show reverence to the triple gem, comprising of the Buddha, his teachings, and the spiritual community. The beads are often painted in specific colors, and they can be made of a variety of materials: wood, seeds, shells, metal, and they're different based on the meditation, again, like the Hindus. In Christianity, the practice was adapted in the 3rd century by Eastern Christian monks, and various forms of the rosary were developed. In Roman Catholicism, the rosary became a popular method of public and private prayer. The most common rosary is the one devoted to Mary, the prayers of which are recited with the aid of a chaplet or a rosary. The beads of the chaplet are arranged in 5 decades in sets of 10. In Islam, the rosary consists of 3 groups of beads, whose total is 100. Each bead represents the most beautiful name of God, and the rosary serves to count these names. The rosary is also used in an act of prayer and is carried by all classes of Muslims. Now, I wish I had all these different types of rosaries in my hand. I would pile them here in this glass bowl. The visualization demonstrates the essence of religion, the tactile essence of searching and finding. All of humanity is looking for something to hold on to, something to touch, something to ground one's spirit, something to connect us to something greater than ourselves, something to hold on to. I think we all can agree that our fellowship is something beautiful and grounding to hold on to. It's serendipitous in how it came about 25 years ago. A group of people came together because they found the courage to express to one another that they needed something to hold on to, and they wanted to hold on to it with a community of warm, compassionate, open-minded neighbors and visitors. Each of us celebrates the serendipity that brought the fellowship to fruition and all that we do to love, care, encourage, and preserve our home and our connection to one another. As a token of celebration and entering year 2022 together, I invite you to create your own serendipitous rosary. In the gathering room, you will find rosary kits. Each compact package contains 1 piece of string, 5 beads, and 5 cards, 1 for each bead, giving you space to discover and identify each bead's meaning. These kits can be exchanged with a loved one as you express your gratitude for each other. Or these kits can be used to foster your own individual spiritual journey. The beads can be a representation of affirmation, areas of forgiveness, prayers, people, stars, creatures of any species, or a list of simple words that bring you light, peace, and solace. There is no divine recipe for your rosary. Create it with a light hand and relax while you let serendipity take the lead. Linguistically, rosary stems from the Latin word rosarium, meaning rose garden. To further bring the feel of a garden to year 2022, you are also invited to pick home and bring a carnation found in our garden gathering room. There is so much to savor in our lives and right here in this community. May today's New Year message remind you of all the gifts you have given and the gift that you are. When we began the holiday season at our Thanksgiving service, Susan Leader shared an excerpt from the book, Original Blessing, written by Matthew Fox. I conclude today's message with that same reading, with the optimism that this thoughtful passage grace our 2022 journey together as it warmly invited us to savor the remainder of 2021. Here is the reading. The true contemplative will teach us the art of savoring. For creation needs savoring more than inventory making. If we savored more, we would buy less. We would be less compulsive and less unsatisfied. We would also work less and play more. If we savored more, we would communicate more deeply, relate more freely, and celebrate more authentically. We would also relate more deeply to ourselves, to creation and all its blessedness, to history, past and future, to the now, and to God. We would be more in touch with our moral outrage because our love of life would increase so dramatically, we would be less and less tolerant of the death forces. The art of savoring is our prayer. May it be so.
Thank you, Sarah. It truly was serendipity that brought us together. Join me in the closing words, which we'll read in unison. Words by Fred Rogers. It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside. And when you wake up ready to say, I can make this happy new day. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling. The feeling you know that I'll be back when the day is new. And I'll have more ideas for you. And you'll have things you'll want to talk about. I will too. We extinguish the chalice here that it might glow gently in our hearts. May it light your path as you leave this place. May it guide your way until we are together once again. May it be so. Just a reminder that there are things in the gathering room you may recall from Sarah's presentation.
Simple music.
Is Donna okay?
She is. It's nothing to do with COVID. No, she had, I think she might have some AFib issues every once in a while. Well, you didn't, I didn't fool you then. When I said my name is Donna Johnson. Not a bit. Sarah?
It's the hair, the hairdo.
It's the hairdo.
It's still not so fun though, that's just part of the story of one of my kids, she's like, I don't know. I didn't get
I'm glad.
Next year.
We always have joy. Easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I'll treasure that. Best rendition.
You know what? Oh, that's so cool. Like, I often, and my dog, yes. Your birthday's on Sunday, because I need to do cleaning and stories of the dog. Thank you. Well, we go every year. They do look so much. Florida. And that was 2,000. Right. And,
Yeah, you could. We are, yeah, we stay.
We're seeing this the second.
So, well, her birthday's on 12 and 10.
For me, it's five.
Older than I've ever been before.
Yeah, and that's how it works. Yeah. When's your Thursday? Because.
The longer we can stay here, the better we feel.
Hi, this is a problem. I understand. When was the last time I felt? What would have been going on?
She said frosty.
Before that, you know, I mean, I just never got.
It's funny you should say that, so really that, when, you know, obviously working full time and all of that, and Bill was actually in the last thing for that. He was filming Glacier, off Glacier. But our friends up here,